David Lee walks 25 miles a week without even leaving his office.
It's quite comfortable just to walk, all day long.
Lee owns a TrekDesk, a height-adjustable workstation designed to fit over a treadmill. It allows users to type, talk, and think on their feet.
And when people come up and see it, initially their reaction is, walk all day, stand, won't that hurt my feet? Won't I sweat? You walk at very slow speeds. It's just like walking down the hall, and you don't sweat when you walk down the hall. You won't sweat when you walk on a TrekDesk.
Studies link sitting at a desk all day to obesity, diabetes, cancer, and heart disease.
But they say there's a way to get on your feet while you work that's getting praise. Tisha Powell is here to show us how we can increase our energy and our productivity. Tisha?
Caitlin and Fred, the TrekDesk Treadmill desk was recently named to Livestrong's list of 20 fitness gadgets that actually work. We dropped in on a local Duke doctor who agrees, and he should know he's got one.
Dr. Nelson Chow has two desks in his office, one where he can sit and work, the other he uses to work while he walks. It's a TrekDesk, basically a workstation that fits over a standard treadmill, and it keeps Dr. Chow moving.
Works out great. What I do is I take my conference calls walking, so it keeps me on the conference call, and late afternoon it actually wakes you up.
Livestrong.com, a partner of the Lance Armstrong Foundation, recently named the TrekDesk to its list of 20 fitness gadgets that actually work. Dr. Chow can attest to that.
It helps keep your focus. I think sitting at a desk all day is probably not a good thing.
In fact, studies have shown sitting at a desk all day puts you at a higher risk for musculoskeletal disorders. There's also the greater risk for obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and more, even if you work out regularly. With the TrekDesk, you can bring part of your workout to work.
So is your chair killing you? A new study suggests that people who sit too much may have shorter lifespans. So for many Americans who spend a third of their day sitting at a desk at work, what's the solution? How about walking while you work? Our next guest right next to me here came up with this cool invention that allows you to do just that. Steve Boardley, the CEO of TrekDesk. Good morning.
Good morning, Gretchen.
So actually your invention is the device that's sitting on top of this treadmill, right?
Yes, the idea was there's 50 million existing treadmills in the United States, but if you have one at home, most people just hang clothes on them. So our concept was, let's build something that's affordable that people can attach to their treadmill, move throughout the day, and get healthy again.
Great to hear that, Stephanie. Thank you.
Not bad. All right, now to today's Take 3, where we share our thoughts about the topics that have us talking. Sticking around to add her 2 cents. Our editor-at-large here on Take 3.
I'm taking over.
We're just going to keep giving you jobs.
I love it.
No.
Sure. Love it.
Jenna Bush-Hager. We're running out of time, but can we just get a quick shot of this treadmill desk? We're out. This is our last take right here. It's called the TrekDesk, $429. Who's going to get on it?
I want to do it. Okay. She took her shoes off. I took my shoes off. All right, go ahead.
Jenna Bush-Hager is going to get up on there.
She volunteered.
This is something you can purchase for Christmas, $400.
It's on, so don't fall. This is a great gift idea, actually, because there are tons of studies that say sitting is killing us.
So you already have the treadmill, and you put this on, and you can go about your business.
You can. You put your laptop right here, and
collate
you just
some
go.
documents over there. It appears
a little bit. Yep.
It doesn't carry a warning label like cigarettes, but some doctors say the office chair can be hazardous to your health. When he was Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld was, well, a stand-up guy. No chair in sight. He stood at an upright desk. Now there's a growing movement to make the office even more heart-healthy and less sedentary.
Hi, Emma. This is Chase.
Enter Chase Poffenberger, an executive at a Washington, D.C. international tour company. Poffenberger chucked her chair and for about $500 bought the TrekDesk, a 4-foot-wide platform that fits over any treadmill.
I live about 65 miles away from Washington, and so my commute is very long. I have a very full family life, and I wasn't prepared when I got home after a long day to spend even more time going to a gym.
The office of the future.
Dr. Ray Heinisch takes multitasking to a new level with his TrekDesk.
You can burn 900 to 1,200 calories a day and not even feel like you've exercised, not feel fatigued, but instead feel energized.
The desk, which runs about $500, fits over his treadmill, allowing him to walk and work at the same time.
I just walk at 2 miles per hour, and get the job done.
At UCLA, Dr. Christian Roberts has been studying the impact of inactivity.
When you're sitting, your body's normal metabolic processes start to change.
And not in a good way.
You may lose muscle mass. You may increase your body fat levels. You may decrease your ability to utilize glucose effectively.
That's the bad news. The good, that doesn't take much to start to turn that around.
If we were able to modify our lifestyle and not sit as much, your body's metabolism is going to change.
To experience that change, Dr. Roberts says you need to know.
Standing burns more calories than sitting. Walking burns more calories than standing.
In Dr. Roberts'
New research actually shows the side effects of prolonged sitting are so serious, many doctors are equating it with smoking. We all know the negative health effects of this, but did you know this may be just as bad for you?
Well, smoking certainly is a major cardiovascular risk factor, and sitting can be equivalent in many cases.
St. Luke's Roosevelt cardiologist Dr. David Colvin says several new studies show prolonged sitting is now being linked to increased risk of heart disease, obesity, diabetes, cancer, even early death.
The fact of being sedentary causes events to happen in the body that are very detrimental.
Dr. Colvin says when you sit for long periods of time, your body goes into storage mode, and when that happens, it stops working as effectively as it should. What's worse, the more hours a day you sit, the greater your likelihood of developing one or more of these diseases, just as with smoking. As Associate Director of the Jewish Outreach Institute, Paul Golan says he was sitting up to 8 hours a day. But after a recent heart scare, he set out to change his sedentary ways and bought this stand-up desk that rests on a treadmill.
I turn on the treadmill and walk for about an hour a day.
While he's working, Golan's measures may seem extreme, but he points out so are the consequences of prolonged sitting.
Recognizing that I had a family history of heart disease and I wanted to do something about it.
Meetings conducted by Dee Rubina are a bit different than most office meetings. Step by step, Dee's work at filtersfast.com. A water filtration company is done every day on a treadmill desk called a TrekDesk.
America is growing, and not in a good way. 68% of American adults are overweight or obese. David Harowitz is one American trying to change his numbers.
I am dealing with type 2 diabetes and high cholesterol and things that go along with being overweight.
So David decided he needed to start exercising, but he's a busy lawyer and didn't have time until he found the TrekDesk.
When I saw something like this, where I could be working and exercising at the same time, it made a lot of sense to me to do that.
Steve Boardley invented the TrekDesk. It's a flat workspace that fits over most treadmills.
We're trying to start a movement revolution, if as it were, just to get people to understand that chairs are dangerous to their health.
David gave up his chair a month ago and walks 2 hours a day at the recommended 1 mile per hour pace on his TrekDesk. He says walking while talking and typing becomes second nature.
I am dropping some weight and I actually just feel better.
The TrekDesk costs $479, and that's just for the desk that sets up over a treadmill. The height is adjustable. Allie Gorman, Channel 6.
In November, we converted my traditional office into, I guess, my fitness office. Got the TrekDesk so that I can just be on my feet all day. I felt like sitting down was just, it was idle, you gain weight. So I felt like this would be a good way to balance my metabolism, prevent me from gaining weight. I'm a fitness professional, so staying fit is obviously a key to success in what I do. And I just felt that it was an excellent way just to improve my posture and just feel good at the end of the day, just burning calories as you work. If I walk straight for 60 minutes, I can burn 126 calories and have walked 1 mile. So at the end of the day, between all the stopping and going if I need to jump off, I could have burned 500 plus calories.
Here I am at my desk. I've got my laptop, my files, my papers, access to my cell phone. However, this desk is different. For one thing, I'm standing and walking, and I could do this comfortably 8 hours a day. Beyond conventional desks where we sit on chairs or even sitting on balls. Enter the TrekDesk, a fully functional 6-foot wide desk where you stand and walk. In future office settings, this would require users to embrace a whole new workplace lifestyle. Also burn off 100 calories for every hour or mile at this desk. So walk on. Ed Yates, KSL 5 News.
All right, everybody, there's a whole new way to work. It promises to help you lose weight, improve your health, help you be more productive, and keep you in a better mood. That should get your attention. It's called the TrekDesk, and employees in Pittsburgh are starting to use it. A few months ago, Bill Elm walked away from his old desk job, and he hasn't stopped walking since.
You order up the TrekDesk, and it's sort of adjustable to be my height, so you adjust it to your keyboard, and you sit it over top of any treadmill you want, and you basically go from sitting in a chair and typing and on the phone to walking on the treadmill, typing on the keyboard using the phone, and doing sort of that normal office function in a standing walking position. The TrekDesk is the newest approach to working. The company suggests you set the treadmill at 1 mile an hour and you can type and talk on the phone and read through paperwork all without missing a beat. Some users have lost as much as 50 pounds, but it does much more than help you lose weight. It's designed to keep employees healthier and happier, and by keeping the blood flowing, it helps concentration. You don't get that afternoon lull because you... Bill is a triathlete, and he was having trouble with his range of motion. The more he exercised, the worse it got. You're still in this position for an awful long time. So if I'm doing a 14-hour day, I'm in a 14-hour day like this, and we directly saw that impact. My arms didn't move, my hips didn't move, my ankles didn't move.
They end up getting cemented into those positions. So the hip, in particular, is usually the problem. Ron D'Angelo is the director of sports performance at UPMC. He was working with Bill before the TrekDesk and noticed an immediate difference. As soon as we got him up and moving, we made huge strides. All right, the TrekDesk sells for about $480. The treadmill, by the way, is not included.
This is a fantastic device. Okay. It's incredibly revolutionary. And if you notice, David, it has these little adjustable mounts. Hooks. So, right in here. Little slots. So you could put your manuscript holder. I have my in and out trays. I have my beverage holders. And you could put any laptop computer. This is so well built, although they say you shouldn't exceed 55 pounds. I could do dips off of this thing. Whoa. What do you think of that? Yeah, that's I don't recommend you do that, but I'm just showing how sturdy it is. Yeah, you don't want to go too fast on this thing because you're doing work, exactly. Right? Always remember, by the way, to have your emergency stop on there just in case. Right. But, you know, for employees that instead of sitting down, this is a terrific alternative, and everybody knows the health benefits of lubricating your joints by just walking slowly. True. Even though walking slowly may not seem a lot of exercise, if you do it for periods of time, it's very beneficial. Exactly. Mm-hmm. So this is really a terrific product. It's about $479, and I'll tell you something, it has been getting rave reviews. Now, $479 for the desk that goes over. Right. Okay. I want to emphasize that this TrekDesk will fit any size treadmill.
If you're looking to shed some holiday pounds and get fit, but just can't schedule time at the gym, take a look at a new invention guaranteed to get you going while being productive at the same time.
And it has lots of attachments, like a cup holder, 2 of those, a tray.
As a computer software consultant, Ruth Singleton finds herself stuck behind a desk most of the day.
I need more exercise. You know, my weight keeps creeping up.
But this isn't any ordinary desk. For the past month, while working on financial charts and filing projects, Ruth's working on something else.
I'm moving all day long. I'm burning calories, hopefully a lot of them.
For about 5 hours a day, Ruth works from home and walks at a steady 1 mile an hour pace on her TrekDesk, a special workstation desk that fits over her treadmill.
I have my phone over here, so I have access to everything, and I can walk all day long and get all my work done. I'll get started working on something, and I'll look down and an hour and a half has gone by, and I don't even realize it.
On average, Ruth walks about 25 miles a week.
It's quite a bit. I could walk to Lawrence in a week.
Multiply that by how many weeks there are in a year.
It's going to be a life-changing thing, and it's the best thing I can do for myself right now. And I'm hoping
the increase of sedentary workers sitting at a desk and computer for a majority, if not all of the day, can have a negative impact on health. It's difficult for people to get the exercise they need in order to be healthy and manage their weight. But now a trend is moving into the office environment. Walking workstations. Nicole Keith is an associate professor in IUPUI's Department of Physical Education. She's been using her walking workstation since August, walking about 3 to 5 miles per day while working.
So I only walk about 2 miles an hour, and it's a very slow, steady pace. So there's very little bouncing. I don't go up and down, and I'm pretty stationary in my balance. And then I have the computer screen monitors. The TrekDesk is high, so it's at the same level. The monitors are at the same level as my face, and so it's just like sitting, except for I'm standing and I'm walking and I'm typing. So there's no bouncing involved. People frequently ask me, do you have to wear different clothes to work? I don't. I just change my shoes in the morning and walk in my tennis shoes and then change them back when I have to go somewhere. Because it's so slow and my office is fairly cool, I don't sweat. So it's just like being in my office sitting, except for healthier.
And relatively inexpensive. Nicole's TrekDesk cost around $400, and an inexpensive treadmill set her back around $200. The cost may have initial impact on a company's bottom line, but over time could leave a big impression on employees' waistline.
Walking at a pace of 1 mile per hour, the average person can burn about 100 calories an hour. Over the course of a year, that could mean a weight loss of nearly 60 pounds. And proponents of treadmill desks say they also contribute to a healthier and more productive workforce.
I'm not fidgety. I don't have to get up and go walk somewhere like I used to.
So I'm sitting here in my chair at my desk. Think about how often you do this, how long you do this, sitting in your car, at work, of course, sitting on the couch watching television. Our understanding from what we've researched, if you add all that time up on any given day, you're sitting down 6 hours a day. And for some of us, it could be even more.
That's right. And no matter what your workout regimen is, if you're doing this more often than not, it doesn't really balance it out. So we can fix it by doing one simple motion, this right here. And so maybe we should all be standing up for this story.
It started out as a idea, and I just thought it'd be fun to get away from sitting at a desk.
From the outside, this looks like a normal office, but on the inside...
Like, whoa, you don't have a desk, you have a treadmill.
For the past 2 years, High Point University health science professor Dan Tahar hasn't done much sitting in his office.
Basically what you're doing by using a treadmill workstation is that you're just elevating your body's normal metabolism.
And this walking professor says you can do it too, even if you can't afford a treadmill or don't have the extra space.
You know, if you're sitting in a chair.
You like that? You know, I thought at first when I saw it, this idea was horrible, but it's really kind of cool. You could actually do some work and work out. I like that. And obviously, use it or lose it. All right, that's a pretty good one. All right, come on, let's go. This is
Rabuna. I don't know, I'm saying it wrong either way. I'm exhausted already. As you can see, we're both walking. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? 150 pounds.
Yes.
Just walking. Let's talk about this loss of weight and a lot of weight that you lost.
Yes.
Were you doing other stuff besides just walking? Or?
I was. I lost 110 pounds before I got the TrekDesk. So I lost the last 40 with the TrekDesk, but I do all kinds of things. Right now I'm 7 months pregnant, so I have to slow down a little bit, but I walk, I run, dance, and do any kind of fitness I can
New
get.
research shows people who sit at their desk all day are at an increased risk for obesity, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, even an early death. One study from the American Cancer Society showed people who sat more than 6 hours a day were at least 18% more likely to die than those who sat less than 3 hours a day. That's why Dr. Michael Roizen is taking steps to combat the problem with a treadmill desk at work.
57 hours a week. All right, here at Blog World Expo with folks from TrekDesk, and this is one of the new crazes in working fitness, being able to stand at your desk and actually get a workout instead of sitting there and having your legs fall asleep, getting deep vein thrombosis and everything else. Steve is here from TrekDesk. Am I on the right track with that, Steve?
You said it perfectly. The whole idea is to combat the health hazards of sitting by getting people up and walking on and utilizing the treadmills they may have at home already by attaching a TrekDesk to it.
Okay, so the TrekDesk sits above a traditional treadmill. You can pretty much put any sort of treadmill you want in there, right?
It has a universal design. It'll fit virtually any treadmill in the United States, yes.
And it's completely silent, too. So if you're taking a phone call, someone's not going to say, hey, Steve, are you on a treadmill while you're talking to me right now?
Yeah, you're walking. One thing to point out, normal walking speed's 3 to 4 miles an hour. And when you're walking here, you're walking about 1 to 1.5 miles an hour. So you never get out of breath. I use a headset when I'm talking on the phone, so my hands are free. But people won't hear you gasping for air. You won't sweat. It's a very natural condition. And in short order, even people that are sedentary can be up and moving and walking all day. And the health benefits are incredible. If you're sitting, that's the worst thing you can do for your body. Standing is much better than sitting. You're going to burn more calories, about 40 more calories an hour standing. But if you're standing in one spot, you still have some, ask any retailer, you're still going to have problems. You're going to have problems with your back spasming, you're going to have your calves starting to burn. We're designed to walk. We're not designed to sit, and we're not designed to stand in one place either.
And now with voice dictation software, you can certainly be dictating emails. You don't necessarily need to be typing, although I'm walking slow enough that I could easily be typing out emails. I could be doing different things, reading, taking phone calls. And while I'm not getting out of breath at all, I know that I'm doing good for my body.
I think that sums it up really well. If we could get Americans to just walk 10,000 steps a day, the American Heart Association has said we'd reduce the rate of initial heart attacks in this country by 90%. We'd reduce diabetes in this country by 50% and stroke by 70%. So there's a real message here that Americans, as much as we need to control our diets, we also have to know how many steps we're taking per day. And this is something that allows you to do that.
You could burn up to 150 calories an hour, and over 8 hours, that's a pretty significant chunk of time. Right. If you're working an 8-hour day, some employers who've used these things have said it actually increases productivity because it's very hard to slough off in your chair and do nothing when you're walking 2 miles an hour. That actually increases your productivity.
Now, you and I are sitting here smiling at this and joking a little bit, but it really isn't a joke. We've had a lot of health stories on this show recently talking about the severe effects on your body and your mental state of just being too sedentary. And, doctors recommend people getting up and walking around the office. I mean, we are sitting, we have our laptops, we're laying, we're lounging. Right. So there really is a real health benefit to this. I'm wondering what, in terms of the number of sales of these treadmills, have they seen an increase in the last couple of years?
Well, some of the folks we talked to have said sales really have doubled in the past year.
What I'm doing right now, apparently, sitting, is hazardous to your health. A recent study reveals that 6 hours of sitting or more directly impacts your risk for many diseases. The solution is very simple. Eyewitness News food and fitness expert Lori Corbin shows us why we may want to take a recess.
When we were kids in school, we all looked forward to recess. And we need better branding for physical activity.
Author of Instant Recess, UCLA professor Tony Yancey says recent studies show 6 hours being sedentary daily increases the risk of a host of ailments.
Heart disease, stroke, cancer.
Yet as little as 5 to 10 extra active minutes a day would fight arthritis and osteoporosis, lift depression, and elevate cognitive function. Some companies are installing a few TrekDesks for sharing, where the user walks only a mile per hour, which is pretty slow, yet it keeps the blood moving, bones stronger, and calories revved. The desk is $479. Combine it with an inexpensive treadmill as well.